See, I'll just wait for a couple more people to join in. All right, good morning, guys. Today is May the 4th. And as usual, we'll be going over analysis for US 30 gold and EU. But similar to what I said in the group today, we are not, I don't have any markups for, I'll not have any order block markups for, and supply and demand zones markups for today and tomorrow because I just got back from vacation and it's almost the end of the week. So I don't think it's worth, I mean, it is worth the effort, but I just didn't also have time to do those because I was also catching up on other things. But anyway, so for US 30, see what time it is. It's 9:45, so we can start looking for trades. For US 30, you can see that US 30 just broke this trend to the downside. So we have these two trend lines on the 5-minute. And US 30 broke the trend line to the downside. Turning on this little tool we have in our indicators, you can see that we're most likely in a downtrend or downtrending channel. Yes. So what we need here is for price to actually, we can leave this on for today because we don't have all the other markups. So at least the charts are not going to be too crowded. So what we need to re-enter the sell. So right now I am bearish on US 30. bearish on US30, bearish on, let's see, bullish on gold, and bearish on EU. So for US30 to re-enter any sell on US30, we need a retest of this trend line, which should come within also this sell channel right here, which is also trending to the downside. So if we're going to do a 50 pip stop loss, we need to make sure that our stop loss is above this channel to the upside, or this trend line to the upside, because if price comes in here, right, you always want to see where price can go to. So if you're looking for a short position on the retest of the trend line, we want a retest and closure below the trend line. So we want, ideally, we would want a retest, a candle to retest the trend line, and then close below the trend line as a bullish, as a bearish candle. So you can see here 50 pips, our stop loss would still be within this zone. So ideally, so that's the first sell right there. The next best sell would be in the middle of this channel, which lines up with the sell side or downtrend channel. But even for the, oh, I forgot also the EMAs, I'm sorry. EMA. I knew I was missing something. So we have the, is it this one? Yeah, 9 EMA. And we also need the 200 EMA. So let's see, EMA. We need the 200. So yeah, if you're just joining the stream, today I don't have any bullish or bearish zones. Today and tomorrow I'm not gonna have any of those zones. So we'll just have to trade today and tomorrow using, we have other strategies that we use, so we don't need those other confluences. So for here, I am looking for a sell on US30. I need a retest of this trend line, but we need the stop loss to be above this channel. So this is probably one of, and I'm already up 0.5 for the day, and heavily up on other accounts. So I'm not really looking to risk. And just today, since I'm back from vacation, I just wanted to go over if anybody had any questions, because while I've been away, there's been a bunch of things that have come up. So I wanted to see mostly today if you guys had any questions. But for any sell here, it would be better for the stop loss to be above this trend line to the upside. So here, this would be the first sell, and it would line up with the retest of the trend line and retest of the 9 EMA, because you can see the 9 EMA is here. And also this little tool channel that's within the high-low plus trend indicator, you can see that we are in a downtrend for US30. So we just need US30 to come back up. Now, the only thing about not having any markups is that there's definitely possibility to ride price to the upside, but since we don't have that, it's fine. So the chart to my right, we want to look at where price has come from, where price is going. In previous weeks, I did say, and I've said this time and time again, this instruments love to complete structure. You can see US30 came to this, did this move to the upside, and then came back down to complete structure right here around 33, 320, and then it broke down. So I still expect US30 to go to 29,000. And you can see there's still, if you look at structure to the left, where is the next stop for US30? The next stop is about 32,800. So I do expect US30 to keep dropping and eventually to drop to 29,000, as I'd said way back. So this is the trade we are waiting for US30. We need a retest of this trend line and closure below the trend line, preferably with a what is it called? With a bearish candle. Gold, you can see gold spiked up to 2063. So I've been analyzing gold week after week, and I did say I'm expecting gold to go to 2070 areas. So gold has ideally been following all the analysis that I've been calling. So if you look at the hourly time frame, you can see that we had this spike up. Actually, it's just yesterday. during FOMC. Gold went to around 2070. So hopefully next week when I have my markups, but if I remember correctly, we do have a lot of sellers around 2070. So normally if they come back here, I wouldn't try to sell at 2070. I would look to, ideally they want to fake people out because they expect people to have a bunch of stop losses up here. So they can come up here and stop hunt around 2070. So you see this trend line that I've drawn to the upside. Where's the next place the trend line will be touched, right? Around maybe 2080, 2090, 2100 is a psychological number. So between, I would say 2090 and ideally 2090, that's probably where I would start looking for sells on gold. But I do still expect gold to keep pushing up because if you think about it, right, a lot of people are trying to short. So market makers are now, or banks and institutions are now going to make money that way, just by following what retailers are doing. So that's why gold kept, and even yesterday, I was expecting gold to keep pumping up during or after FOMC. So for gold today, let's see what we have. And hopefully I'm not muted. So gold today, we have this static trend line to the downside on the 5-minute. We don't have any trend line to the upside. This is more of equal highs around here. But it does still count as a trend line. But you can see for gold, there's just too much going on, especially to the upside, because ideally this can also be a trend line from this lower high, right? So gold just has a lot going on to the upside. But you can see gold is in a bullish channel right here. I'm not really looking for anything on gold. I still do expect it to go all the way up. And also, I don't like trading in a consolidating market. So you can see here the 9 EMA has been crossing the 200 EMA back and forth. So I'm not really looking to trade gold today as well. For hopefully that's the one I've drawn. Okay. For EU, is that the one I've drawn? Markups for, yeah, there it is. EU, you can see EU is ideally in a downtrend. USD. So on the hourly, we have this trend line to the upside. We don't have a trend line on the downside on the hourly. Zooming off, you can see EU has just been doing a bunch of consolidation as well. So there's really, I don't see any trade on EU today. So I'll just go back to US 30 because that's the only asset I see trades for. And there goes the move to the upside. So we need we need a retest and closure below, preferably with a bearish candle to enter that sell. And look at the hourly as well, right? So remember this US 30, and I like trading US 30 when it has static trend lines on both sides. So we have this trend line and this trend line. So if price is to come back up, and we also need the 9 EMA and 200 EMA on the hourly as well. Yeah, so normally these are not the charts that are the setup that I have, but we'll just have to deal with it today and tomorrow. 9 EMA, and then we need the 200. So always wait for confirmation before you enter the trade. I need to do this. Okay. So still waiting on this candle right here. So remember, it's always good to wait for so this I'm doing 100 pip TP, 100 pip stop loss, but even then you can see the 100. So whatever, in this trade I'll be using a 0.5% risk. The best risk to reward, or the best area to put the stop loss is around 33,381. But I just don't want to increase my my stop loss all the way up there. Ideally, the reason for that, you want your stop loss to be away from this trend, because if I turn off this channel right here that we have, you can see these two trend lines to the upside. So you want your stop loss to be above this and hopefully even above the 200 EMA. So that's why around 33,395 should be a good area to put your stop loss. But if I go all the way there, I would have to go for like 150 pip TP and 150 pip stop loss, which I normally don't use. So yeah. You can try, you can use that today. I just don't like, because 150 pips on US 30 is a big move. So, and normally like our TP and stop loss is 50 pips TP, 50 pips stop loss. So I'll do this and I'll just trail along the way. So I need a retest and I need a closure. So this candle closes in two and about 3 minutes. So this is what we're waiting for right here. Remember, this is a good entry. This trade makes sense. The next best entry is around 33,266. If the trade comes up here around and touches the trend line, that would be a good area to scale in. So before you enter a trade, you want to see where can price go to if it goes in drawdown. So this one we are trading off of. So here we have like, so our confluences, we normally have 3 confluences to enter a trade, either retest of 9 EMA, retest of the trend line, or retest of structure. So we already have retests of the 9 EMA and trend line that are together, both at the same point. So that's good. Retest of structure aligns around 33,284 area. So here we have 2 of our 3 confluences lining up. So we have 2 minutes. Let me prepare my trade manager. So I'm already up 0.5% on the account I'm about to trade with. So for this trade, use 0.5%. Just use proper risk management. 150 pips TP, 150 pips stop loss. If the trade hits stop loss, let it hit stop loss. As you can see up here, we've had a winning March. We had winning 3.28% return. The month of April, we had about 4% return. We haven't traded, so this is the first trading day of this month since I've been on vacation the last few days. So we've had a good win rate. So don't stress yourself if trades going to draw down. Normally we are able to get good less drawdown trades. So the distance between the trend line and the height of this candle is about 33,218, 33,219 to about 227. So it's about 8 pips. So 8 pips is now going to make or break your trade for US 30. So for this trade, I will enter on the close of this candle. I want to risk. Let's see. Okay. 25 seconds. So we definitely want that candle to close. And if you look at US 30, the hourly time frame, we have this trend line to the downside. So remember, static trend lines almost always get tested or retested. So this trend line to the downside has not, so that's the trade, and I am in the trade right now. Let's see, did I get filled in? Oh, God, let's see. Okay. I got filled in, but that's the trade right there. Wondering why my trade copier. So yeah, risk no more than 0.5%. Okay, yeah, I got filled in though. There was just a little delay. So that's the trade we're in. We entered because I'm trying to adjust this. So we entered on the open of this candle. So the reason we entered this trade is because there was a retest of the 9 EMA and trend line aligned. And also, so the way trend lines also, sometimes you can have a margin of error. So if the point of entry or if the high of a candle or low of a candle and the trend line are like 2 pips difference, you don't have to wait for the perfect retest. So most of the times we've gotten perfect retest, but other times we've observed that sometimes we miss a trade because of we needed to wait for 2 pips or 1 pip to be covered, and then we miss a good trade. So there's really no need, if the difference between a high and low of a candle that you're looking for entry is like 1 or 2 pips, you can enter. So long as that candle closes, you can enter on it. You really don't have to wait for retest, because sometimes price can just move heavily against you. So it's not FOMO. You're just using, so long as the confluences line up, you're just using common sense. So we'll just let that trade ride, and whatever it does. I'll go over a few things. So yeah, so the month of April, we had a 3.9% return. So if you caught every single trade that I called on the live session, excuse me. So the trades I record here are the trades that I take on the live session and trades that I send out in the Discord. So either in the indices, commodities, Forex majors or Forex minors. And for every trade that I give you a risk to use for the trade. I give you a TP and stop loss value in pips. So that's what I record here. So in the month of April, if you literally took every trade I took on the live session, and you can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4 days that we did not have any live sessions. On these days that have 0, it means we had a live session but did not take any trades. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 days out of, what is that? 6 days out of 20, we did not have any trades, but you can see we still managed a 4% return. And since we started recording the live or the results, which was the last week of March, you can see the last week of March alone, we had a 3.28% return. So here it's ideally just steady growth, waiting on perfect entries. Oh, those are the charts that have been updated. What else do we have here? What else did I want to go over? Okay, so going over the Discord, there's a couple of things. So this month is when we started doing the subscription services for the indicators. So previously, the indicators were available to you guys for trial for about 2 months as I was developing everything else. But then as I've started developing other things, the indicators, I have other trading systems that are going on. Those do come at a price because I did have to pay a lot of money to get them developed. However, live trading or trading live with me will still remain free. And that was one of the reasons that I started this group, was ideally to educate people. I didn't start this group to offer signals, even though I do offer signals. So even right now, signals are part of the premium package. So if you go to the members arena, you'll see the subscription service. So you can either have access to my charts. So charts access is 99, ideally $100 a month. So what you get with that is, so this is ideally how my charts look like normally. So this is the markup I didn't do today, which is why my charts don't look like that. So I normally mark up from the monthly down to the 15-minute. I normally mark up bullish and bearish order blocks. And then I mark up supply and demand zones. So supply zones are like what I have in red right here. Supply zones I have in red, demand zones I have in green. And so this is ideally an old markup, but normally you can, if you've been on the live session with me, or if you want to go back and watch, because I normally upload every live session on YouTube. So in our Discord, we have this YouTube section down here under social media. I record each and every live session and I go over things back to back. So you'll be able to see that having access to my charts also gives you an additional value while trading. So I can, if you look up here on as opposed to, so normally what I do, I take like a screenshot and say, these are US 30. So for example, US 30 markups for today, 427. And you can see the markups for that day. This was a demand zone. So price came down here, bounced off of a demand zone and went all the way up. And this is probably what started the move up for US 30. So this is not what you'll be getting. You'll be getting like my actual chart. So if I go here, I can turn on sharing and I can give you a link to my chart. And once you apply it to your trading view, you'll have exactly what I have, and I'll be doing that daily. So that will be an additional confluence for you. The other thing, so US 30 is still hovering in and out. So the other one, what's the other one? So that's charts access. Indicators access, you get access to all the indicators from now till whenever. So every indicator that I will ever develop, and for you guys who started with me, we started with no indicators, and then I started developing indicators based on my strategy. So currently the indicators we have or use right now are, what are they? Let's see. So the club indicators, we have the GA Trading Club high-low plus trend indicator, which is actually what we are using right now. So this is the high-low plus trend indicator. It shows you the trend, also shows you the highs and lows. And inside the indicator, you have a bunch of confluences you can turn on. So it does also come with buy and sell signals, but I don't trade using signals. But if you do, you can see that if I turn on the buy and sell signals, give me a second, let me turn this trend thing off. I thought I did. Okay, you can see that it's going to give you buy and sell signals. Using, if you use proper confluences, you can use the buy and sell signals to your advantage. I do not trade using that because to me, I prefer trading using my own strategy. Or other confluences. The thing with the indicators, they don't consider some of the confluences we have, and I'll talk about the product that has all the confluences. I think the US 30 trade is back in profit. You can use super trend. You can use different moving averages, and of course I'll make videos about all these settings. So that's the main one I use. We also have a 3-level semaphore indicator. I don't use it anymore. Ideally, what it does, it breaks down buy and sell zones into 3. So like level 1, let me see if I can apply it. My scripts right here. This is it. And all of the indicators I have, I've had them built with or added buy and sell signals for the people who like to know when to buy or when to sell. So for example, this one, no, that's the other one. 3-level show moving average. Sometimes I reduce all of this settings because I don't want too many markups on my charts. So it breaks down buy and sell zones into 3. So 1 is like high probable buy or sell zone. Level 2 is likely probable buy and sell zone or buy or sell zone, and level 3 is highly probable buy or highly probable sell. Based on back testing, I don't like level 2s. So up here, I changed to only have anything that has a level 3 in it. So 3 only, 3 and 1, 3, 2, 3, 2 and 1. And if you do that, you can see some of the signals you're going to get, right? So you have a sell signal up here. You could have had a buy signal up here. You could have had a buy down all the way down here. And you can change all these signals to, like this indicator has a filter. So if you only want to see super trend signals that show up during a super trend, you can do that. Super trend plus moving average. My favorite to use is here, no filter, and then I do a squeeze filter. So what squeeze filter does, it takes off any buy and sell signals in an area where price is squeezing. So ideally that just takes out the noise. Again, I don't use that a lot anymore. What's the other one? The other one, which is a game changer that I have for you guys, is the reversal indicator. So the reversal indicator, so for example, and the US 30 trade is back in profit. The reversal indicator, I used it this morning to catch this buy on EU, right? So this reversal indicator is based off of our reversal strategy. So for our reversal strategy, we normally wait. We actually like trends, right? Remember, the trend is your friend. Nowadays, I like trading with the trend. So what the reversal indicator does, like this morning, what I did, I saw this downtrend on EU on my phone. And again, this reversal indicator is coded to trade like how I trade reversals. So when I saw this on my phone this morning, I knew there was going to be a reversal, because what do we look for a reversal? So we look for a point of interest. And normally it's just visual. So let me do this replay. I wasn't even using the indicator, but I knew there was going to be a buy signal or buy coming. So what did I see? I saw this major trend to the downside. So I said, okay, where did the trend start? Or a few candles before the trend started, where price was. So this is the 9 EMA, right? So my point of interest was around here. So here we have price was at 1.10886. And keep in mind, I was in bed here, right? So here we are going to call this area, excuse me, area of interest. So that's the first thing you want. Then for me, a trend in FX pairs, a trend has to be about 50 pips. And normally what you're looking for is price to stay below whatever EMA you're using. So for me, in the short term, I use the 9 EMA. So right here, what I'm interested in, if this is my point of interest, what is 50 pips to the downside from this? So this will be 1.10 386. So I'll draw a trend line doing 1.10386 right here, 386. So why am I doing that, right? So this right here, I'll name it. And the higher the trend, the better the reversal, right? But for me, based on back testing, I've seen that it's, about a 50 pip move should be sufficient, at least a 50 pip move. 50 pip trend. So the reason I would draw this, and this is not, for me, I just know how to trade this automatically, but I'm just showing you guys how the indicator is based off of my thought process, right? So what I know is that so the other, let me also add something, right? So you see all these sell signals right here. Based on some of the settings, you might be getting false positives because is this a sell I would have taken? No. The reason for that is because what trend is this? So the trend here is 1.10422. So for me, right, I'm looking for a 50 pip trend. So this one would be 1.10927. So a sell came inside that trend. So to me, this sell wouldn't have been valid. This sell also wouldn't have been valid. So this is why I'm using this right here as a better example for you guys. Okay, so right here, I'm not interested in, and then if I was using this indicator to trade, I'm not interested in sell signals. So I'll turn off the sell signals and only remain with the buy signals, right? There's other, same as the other one, you can filter the signals. If you don't want signals that show up in around where price is squeezing, you can turn that on. If you only want to see signals that show up in a super trend.
Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
When you adjusted that indicator to, let's say, 60 pips, you're still gonna get some of those signals, right?
I'll do that. I'll do that after. I'll cover that.
All right.
If you want to filter out, so ADX means volatile. So during price points where price is spiking, you're not going to get signals. Moving average is where's the EMA? So if you put like 9 EMA here, or moving average, say 9 here, you're only gonna get, and select moving average filter, you're only gonna get buys if price is above the 9 EMA, and you're gonna get sells if price is below the EMA. Now for me, again, I built this for you guys. For me, I can trade reversals automatically just by looking at charts. Okay, now breakout pips for FX pairs, I recommend doing about 30 to 40. For US 30, 50. And then here, for me, I use the 9 EMA. If you have other strategies, you can use whatever EMA you want. But ideally, you want an EMA that's closer to price. So you don't want like a 200 EMA or 50 EMA. And then source, ideally here you want to do close, but you can play between close and fast MA. So you can see here, if I did close, it's not, let me see if it's gonna bring up that buy. Okay, so what did I do there? I have 30 pips here. I have, I'm only interested in buys, so I'm not interested in sells at all. I'm using the 9 EMA. I don't have any filter, and then I'm using close as a source, right? Okay, so what this means is if a buy comes anywhere, so by the time you're identifying this trend, maybe price would have been here, right? Because of course you wouldn't have known when the trend happened. So for me, when I was just looking at the charts, I was like, oh wait, this thing has been trending for like 10, 30 pips. And so, right, what's my threshold? 50 pips. So I would come here, draw this 50 pip trend. So if any buy comes before price gets down here, I'm not interested in that. And that's the example I gave you guys with the sell. So I'm only interested in a buy that comes after price has gone to my threshold right here. So at this point, let's see what happened. So we keep going, and there goes your buy signal. So when did you get the buy signal? You got the buy signal after the 50. So price went all the way down 50 pips and then came back up. So now you're interested in a buy because you have all your whatnot. So you have your area of interest, check 50 pip trend or 40 pips, or whatever you choose to do, check, and then you get your buy signal. So this is where personally I entered my buy. I didn't use the indicator. I just saw it, but it's good to see my coder did a good job because it's trading like how I would trade. And then you keep going. So for me, the reversal, I normally try to do double the TP and double the stop loss. But for today, since it's also end of the week, so ideally here I would have done a 50 pip stop loss, 50 pip take profit. But here I did a 20 pip TP, 20 pip stop loss. Initially I did a 50, but I readjusted it. Also because EU is pretty much high, right? If you go on the higher time frame, EU is EU hasn't been here. It's ideally like if you got a good reversal on gold around 2070 area, right? It's around the all-time high or whatnot. I mean, I'm not saying EU is around the all-time high, but EU hasn't been around here for like a couple of, let's see, actually, if you go to the daily, you can see EU hasn't been around here for a little while. So this is not a risk I was willing to take to hold the trade all the way. So if I go back to the 5 minute, you'll see I readjusted to 20 pips TP, 20 pips take
Yes,
profit.
study hit profit by the way.
Oh, it did. My thing is my chart froze. Let's see. And that's why I entered a trade. And so right now you guys should be at break even. And for me, for this trade, I went for you guys again. I said go no more than 0.5%. I went with a higher, and my charts of course are frozen. I guess there was some news or something. That's what happens. And I noticed that with FTMO. So your trade should be at break even right now. Remember, based on our strategies, if you're 50% in profit, go ahead and set break even. So keep in mind, this is a 150 pip move. Normally our moves are about 50 pips, or a
Oh,
TP
right,
moves.
right. I forgot you use one. I use 100. That's why. All right,
Yeah,
I use
150.
one.
So that's why it's still going. But and I told you guys 150 is a big move on, and that's why I really didn't want to use that. But so I'm also looking at this hourly. So I'm expecting the hourly candle to come and retest this static trend line to the downside. So you can see we had like minimal drawdown. This was a perfect trade. And again, this is what I was talking about. Don't let like 3 pips keep you away from such a good move, because you can see if we waited for the retest, right? So sometimes you just need to weigh, you also need to look at how do I put it? You also need to look at where as I said, the high or the low of a candle is relative to the trend line or to your point of entry. So here we did have a point of confluence, but there was no need for us to miss a good trade like this big move because of what is this? 10, I'm sorry, it was I think 7 pips on US 30. And keep in mind our stop loss was 150 pips. So don't let like something negligible. Now, if the distance was like 50 pips or 40 pips, between the trend line and the high of this candle, I would have said there's no, let's just wait for another retest. But you can see right here, if we waited at that point for that retest, we would have just missed this move. So this is a big move for US 30. So right now you guys should be at break even or go ahead and secure some. Give me 1 second, because let me look at my phone, because I did enter with a big um, uh, whatnot. So let's see what I want to do. Just 1 second. So what is it at right now? So that's 33, 179, 105. So I was going with a 5. So this is a 200K account. So I went with a big risk, about 3%. So no, actually not 3%. No, like a 2.5% risk. Yeah, but for you guys, right? If I was trading by myself, sometimes I go for larger risks. So I am closing personally this trade right here, just because I went in with a larger risk. I'm willing to forfeit the other amount. So, and there you go. So I'll go back to what I was doing. And thanks for alerting me. So that's an amazing trade right there. I see somebody put something in the chat. What makes you go for higher risk without losing discipline? I trust my so what was that, Joe? What makes you go for higher risk without losing discipline? So before I started the live streaming, excuse me, I used to go heavy, right? For you guys who've seen me in other groups, I used to go heavy. The reason I go heavy is because I trust my strategy, and also I look back at this. We've had such a, we have such a high win rate. Like for example, this day that we lost minus 1.25 on this Wednesday, we were actually trading news. So it wasn't like a regular trading day, right? So what do I consider a regular trading day? A regular trading day is when we don't trade news. So like this day we traded what was that? CPI in the morning. So CPI in the morning, we lost 0.5%. And then we caught a trade during the live session and it dragged on during the day. I think it was EU and eventually ended up hitting stop loss. And then there was another news event we traded during this day. Or I think we hit two stop losses during CPI or whatnot. So this I don't consider as a regular losing day or a regular trading day. Now, a regular trading day where we've traded live on the live session, and I've sent out trades on the in the Discord. We haven't had a losing day. Worst case, we've come to break even. So you see, like these days that we have break even BE. So we had like one losing trade, and then we waited for another trade, and then we caught a trade, and then we were back at break even. So those are the days. So other than actually last Friday, right? So last Friday we did catch a loss on. So that's the only regular losing day that we have. So last Friday, let's see what we lost on. I forget what it was. What was it? Was it? I think it was EU. No, it wasn't gold. It must have been EU. So if we go all the way to the bottom, because I know I always and this I always like being transparent. So I know it was a forex miner. There you go. It was this GJ sell. But then price, remember we were trying to catch the high using the reversal strategy, and then GJ went all the way to 171. So this is on Friday where we just lost 0.5%. So that is the only regular trading day where we've lost. So when I look at all these statistics, I'm like, wait, we've been doing the same strategy. In any case, we make it much, much better. So at some point I'll go, I'll go with heavier lot sizes. So for me, this also, it makes sense, right? Because I always tell you before entering your trade, know where you end, like right here, right? If I replay this trade when we started the live session, so this is how I ideally started, right? Price was here. So what did I see? So every morning I come up here, mark up the static trend lines. And let me know if you're new here, Joe, because I guess I'm not recognizing your name. So um, every morning I have a 5-minute time frame and I have a 1-hour time frame to my right. So I draw static trend lines, or I look for static trend lines. So what do I consider static trend lines? Static trend lines come from an established high-low to another established high-low area. So if we did not have this lower low here, you can still draw a trend line there, but that trend line will be considered, I call it a hanging trend line. So so all trend lines regardless whether they are static or hanging, all trend lines should always originate from a confirmed high-low area. So that's step one of drawing any trend lines, if you want to draw them like how I draw them. Okay, step two, you need to distinguish, is this a static trend line? Is this a hanging trend line? Again, a static trend line should have at least two established high-low periods. Now, the thing about static trend lines, they will almost always get retested, and you can use them to scale in to a trade, especially if the trade has gone slightly against your way. Okay, a hanging trend line, I don't advise you to ever enter any trade based off of a hanging trend line, because we've had instances in the live session where, and luckily we didn't get trapped by that, but we've had instances in the live session where I identified that, hey, this is a hanging trend line because it hasn't been established and price can literally blow through it. So the best thing with a static trend line, it ideally keeps price away. I'm sorry, ideally keeps price at bay and gives you an opportunity to enter. And more than likely, unless there's heavy news that has come up, price is not going to be volatile and break through that static trend line, especially if it hasn't been retested. So what did I see here? I drew my trend lines on the hourly right here, the chart to my right. I drew my trend lines right here on the 5 minutes. So I trade on the 5 minutes. So what did I say? I said that price broke this trend line to the downside, and this trend line is a static trend line. Okay, and then that's observation number one. And then I analyzed gold and EU, and then I saw, hey, wait a minute. We don't have really good trades. So here we try to look for A plus setup. So we didn't see, or I didn't see anything good for gold and EU. And I was already up for the day from the EU trade. So here I saw this candle broke a static trend line. So if it broke a static trend line, what do we know about static trend lines? Price almost always comes back to retest the static trend line. Okay, and then I have this indicator, or our indicator, that we can use to see the channel, the trending channel for any instrument. So when I turned that on, you can see that price was in a downtrend, right? So this is what you want to see here. And also price was below the 9 EMA, price was also below the 200 EMA. So those are the two EMAs that we use. So that tells me price is in a bearish momentum. And also you can look at structure, right? So I always talk about structure. Look at any instrument you try to trade on the high time frame, and you'll see automatically structure. So structure always comes to the left. So US30 broke this key support right here, and it's pushing down, and the next area that US30 can stop is 32,836, and I did also mention that during as we were starting the live session. So everything to me is lining up for a sell. And especially right here, I know we had a time in the past where we were looking for sells, but even though price was in this sell channel, this whole, because this area to the upside is a buy channel or bullish channel, and this area to the downside is a bearish channel. So ideally, if you're looking for a sell, you also want to see a descending channel, because sometimes we were looking for sells, even though price was still valid, or the trades were still valid, but this channel was sometimes either flat or horizontal or trending slightly to the upside. So this gave me more confluence, right? And then I'm like, okay, I drew this trend line. So I said, let's just wait for price to come up here, to come back up here. And then we needed a retest of the 9 EMA, and I'm sorry, a retest of the trend line and closure below. And I did say preferably with a bearish candle. I'm sorry, guys, I'm a little bit slow. I'm still on vacation mode. So and I also saw the 9 EMA coming down. So I saw that this 9 EMA is going to intersect with this trend line. And remember, when we are entering any trade, we always want to use three confluences: either retest of 9 EMA, retest of trend line, or retest of a high-low area or a structural area. So the intersection of the 9 EMA and the trend line gave me two confluences in one. So we just waited for price to come up. And if we keep going, here, we had this candle come up, right? So this is the candle right here. We were waiting for this retest of the 9 EMA. I'm sorry, retest of 9 EMA and trend line. But then the distance between these two was only like 7 pips. Keep in mind we're going for 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. So what is, don't let seven pips, catch you away from a good trade like this. And normally for me, the live trades, my TP and stop loss are 50 pips TP, 50 pips stop loss on US30. For FX pairs, it's 20 pips TP, 20 pips stop loss. So the reason I went with 150 pips, remember, you also always want to see, if I enter this trade, if price goes against me, where is price likely to go? How far is price likely to go against me, right? So here everything was pointing for a sell, but keep in mind, this trend line to the top is also a static trend line. So price could have come up here, retested the point of structure or a structural point, which is this lower low right here, or retested this trend line to the upside. So I wanted our stop loss to be above here. So, this candle came up. didn't quite retest, but we said we're not going to miss this trade because of 5 pips. So I said we got our confluence. Also, this is a bearish candle. We enter. So for me, I had like 8 confluences lining up. So that's why I went for like 5, at 2.5% risk. So, and at that point, once you enter a trade, that's why you see me analyzing other things. The other thing that, it keeps a lot of people having issues is that they over leverage or they're scared of drawdown. We did go into a little bit of drawdown here, right? Just a few pips up here. But, for me, the trade made sense. If this trade hit stop loss, yes, I would still have recorded it. I wouldn't have felt bad because the trade made sense to me. And let's see, I think the trade has already hit TP. And there you go. And normally for our trades, if you're 50% in profit, that's where you make the decision. Either set break even or secure half or secure some and leave a runner. So there you go. I think this is the largest move on US 30 we've ever caught. So we've caught 100 pips, but 150 pips, this is the first time. And, it's a good day, first day back on vacation. So I'll go ahead and record here 0.5%. So for the month so far, we are up 0.5%. Okay, so yeah, that's to answer your question, Joe. If I missed anything or if I didn't answer anything correctly or need clarification, feel free to either send it in the chat or unmute yourself and just interrupt me. Okay, so this reversal, which is the biggest indicator, right? So that's the one, and for this one, if we go back to the Discord, so indicators, that's also 100 a month. And you'll get access to those 3 indicators and every other indicator I ever develop in future. So you'll see here, this buy automatically came up. Set your TP stop loss, go do your thing, let the trade do what it's gonna do, and you can see trade went. And this trade also had, like, when I entered this trade in bed, remember, for me, I don't use because this indicator is based off of like how I trade, so I just automatically knew it would also bring a buy. And there you go, full TP on that one. Now I saw a sell. Now if I go ahead here and turn on a sell, right? Let me tell you guys if I would have taken that sell right here. So here I was only interested in buys. That's the other. When using the reversal indicator, do not turn on both buys and sells because right? So if you had both buys and sells here, and this move made sense to you, and you got this sell signal right here, what is it more than likely going to do? It's more than likely going to mess with your psychology. Also, this is not a valid sell indicator. So remember, and that's why you always want human input even while using this indicator, because it doesn't make sense, because this trend right here was what, just 10 pips. So this is not a valid sell. So while using the reversal indicator, if you're looking for a buy, go ahead and turn off the sell signal so that they cannot mess with your psychology, or they can just not be showing up. But then there's a sell that came up, because I know there are people who still trade both ways. So if we keep going, you'll see I think there was a news event, this huge sell candle, these huge candles. Now, when identifying a reversal, you want a trend like this. So this is a perfect example. The reason I say that is that you want ideally equidistant candles going. So you don't want like one huge candle accounting for like 50% of the 50 pip move, if that makes sense. So you want a bunch of candles, so preferably over like 3 hours. If not, you just want a smooth, continuous trend. You don't want these huge candles. Now, I think maybe there was a news event in the morning and then you had this spike up. But I wasn't looking to trade this sell right here. The other reason for that, right? Does it meet my confluence for looking? So let's just turn off the buy and sell right here. Does it meet my 50 pip confluence? No, it does not. So at that point, it doesn't matter. Even though the trade would have been a good trade, it doesn't line up with my. So always make sure that before you enter any given trade, and that's trust me, you're going to be profitable if you start waiting for confluences or taking trades that make sense. Even though the trade would have hit profit, this trade wouldn't have made sense to me because it wasn't past the 50 pip move. So yeah, so this is the new indicator that we have. So again, I rarely use the semaphore indicator. I think when a few people here have tested it out, like Mike. Personally, I use the reversal one, or I would use the reversal one. Again, for me, this is based off of my thought process, so I automatically know how to do it. So for you guys, yes, the reversal one is good. The high low plus trend one is good, and all of them come with buy and sell. So all of my indicators I always try to make all of them have buy and sell signals. Now, if you subscribe to it, you'll get all those indicators. So it's not like you'll just get one or whatnot. So you'll get all of them. And in all of these plans, for the first 50 people, whatever price you choose, so long as you've had a subscription of 6 consecutive months, because this definitely will go up. And beginning this month, I'll start running ads for this group. So I do expect at least 1,000. That's my goal, to have at least 1,000 people in this Discord by this time next year. So, and I do anticipate this. What I'm offering here, and for you guys who've been with me, I've just been bringing this out like back to back. So some of these things I do anticipate they will even go to a $500 a month. But anyway, for the first 50 people, you lock in whatever price you choose for the rest of your life. Hopefully we all have a long life. Now, you do not need, and I'm not like other people out there who own products. So you do not need any of this subscriptions to make money, right? Of course, I would want you guys to subscribe, but for me, I don't care about money, but you don't need any of these subscriptions to make money. Case in point, we just took a massive trade on US30 and we made money. You didn't have to pay to be in the Zoom. Other groups charge for Zoom access. Here, my Zoom will remain free because that was one of the commitments when I started this group, was providing free live practical education. So you don't need any of those subscriptions to make money, but they'll be a game changer for you to make profits. There's also Signals access. This was available to you guys for like 2 months or whatnot. So if I go right here, and you'll have Signals access in the Discord and also Telegram. And there are definitely Telegram copiers out there that you can copy some of these signals to your MT4 automatically. So we get like 30 or 40 signals a day. Or let me just call it on average, at least like 15 signals a day. So we get signals on gold, US30, Bitcoin, GJ, AU, and EU, and my system or my AI has capability of doing signals on any instrument. So this is just a tip of the iceberg. So that's another subscription you all can have. And then you can have the indicators and signals access, or indicators, signals, and charts access, which is ideally, if you want the whole shebang, it's ideally 200 a month. Based on how I was calculating it, it was going to be more, but I also based it off because I've, just like you guys, probably a lot of you guys, you've been in groups where you've had to pay for access. I've also been that way too. I started off paying for access in a lot of groups. So I also tried to what is it called? I also tried to wrap my prices around my experience with other groups and what I'm giving you guys for the value. So to me, this made sense. But again, you don't need to subscribe to make money with me. You can make money with me live, because here, if you had a funded account and you are taking all these trades with me on the live session, you'd have been up on your funded account. What's this? 3.2, 3.9, about 7% in just 2 months. So on 100K, that's 7K. So yeah, but I do hope you guys, if you feel like you need that extra kick, this will, and I'll definitely hold your hand. I'm not gonna leave you guys after you subscribe. I'm just gonna walk you guys through that. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to talk about. And I've covered ideally everything. And I know there are people who are having access with the subscriptions, some of the payments not going through. I think it's mostly the people who are outside the US. So on I'm contacting my merchant, which is Square, to help out with that. So hopefully we get that changed or that fixed soon for you guys. So now I'll open it up to you guys who have any questions. I don't know if Steven is here. I know some of you guys wanted him to go over some of the things he posts in the group. So Steven is one of the admins. He's one of the guys that that changed my life in trading, and that also helped me look at trading in a different way. So I think there's one question in the chat. Let me see. Okay. So yeah, if anybody has any question, feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask that any questions you may have.
Um, I don't know if he's here, but he had said he's gonna let me know how the EU moved the other night. Was a Judas swing?
Yeah,
The
Judah Swing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not in here, but we'll arrange for him to do like a live session or a mentorship session one of these days. Yeah, but yeah, when Steven, hey, when Steven will offer that live session, do not miss it. When I literally tell you guys he was the final piece of the puzzle that made me what I am today as a trader. Like, yeah, he really knows this stuff. And let me also tell you, he does a lot of testing too. Like, I hanged out with him and Dean is the other admin who's in here. We hanged out a few weeks ago just somewhere in the mountains, and we just bonded and all of that. So Dean, Steven, Audrey too is the other admin. Those are valuable, invaluable people here that when when they say something, just know there's something else around there, and you can dig into it. And there are people who've done a lot of testing. So Audrey is the person who brought me into trading 2.5 years ago. Dean and Steven, I met them. What is it? Maybe a couple of months ago, and we just had a good friendship going. So yeah, I'll talk to Steven. He can offer, or he can do a live or mentoring session one of these days. Any other question? Let's see, chat. Okay. So every day we go over 6 of these questions right here. So this is trading in the zone. I don't know if anybody has started reading this book. So I did recommend to get this book, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. It's an amazing book. As a trader, I feel like, so I always tell people, consider some of these things as like when you went to school. So whatever level of school you went to, you had to purchase, or you had books or resources that you had to go through, or to acquire in order to help you learn whatever you're learning. So trading is the same thing. So a lot of people just get into trading thinking they're going to be millionaires overnight. No, if you literally take trading or treat trading as like going back to school, or like as your job, like right here, I treat trading as my job, right? Even though I have another job, just to you can never have enough money. But I treat trading as, okay, I come in here, I hang out with you guys, clock in for 1.5 hours, make my 0.5%, but today I made like 1% or even 3%. And then I have like 24 hours for the rest of me. Other people, you find people who are trying to trade every single hour of the day, and they either end up blowing their accounts or their money, and or making less than, for example, me, who just waits for one perfect trade and takes it for 5 or 10 minutes, I'm done. So yeah, this book, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, definitely get it. It will be a game changer. So every day, I did say we'll be going over 6. And also in that book, it has an attitude survey to gauge your attitude as a trader. So I did say that, sorry, I did say that every day we'll be going over 6 of these questions back to back until we get them, until we fix our psychology with trading. I personally, I'm not perfect as well. There's some of these questions that just mess me up, or that I still see that I need improvement in trading. One more thing about US 30, right? I did say that these static trend lines, you almost always will have rejection from them. So right here, you can see where's price rejecting from, right? So look at the hourly time frame. Price literally rejected from this trend line coming from a lower low to another lower low. So in this static trend lines, if you're a quick scalper, you can enter some quick trades. So, but don't go for like 50 pips. So I always say for static trend lines, you can go for quick 20 pips. So for right here, long position, I could have went for like 20 pips here. So let me just show you an example, right? Our TP and stop loss is normally 50 pips. So you can see if we had that, it would still have hit, but it's not a risk that I like taking, because when I go for these quick bounces, I use like a heavy lot size. So I would normally go for like 20 pips TP and 20 pips stop loss. And keep in mind, and I've said this time and time again, and looks like today the US 30 candles are moving heavily. Or maybe it's my chart that's okay. For this trades, I've always said that you have high probability of hitting the first trade after the first retest, right? So I wouldn't enter into any buy on US 30 now, because we've had a lot of rejections right here. So we've had rejection here, rejection here, rejection here. So I normally say you have like about 1 or 2 shots at trading a static trend line, because I wouldn't push it after that. And that's why I say go for like 20 pips, like for US 30. You can do a heavier lot size. Like here,
How
you could.
far down you think US 30 should go, roughly, or could
So
go?
I still expect it to go to 29,000. But in the short term, right, what I used to do that is look at structure, right? So if I look at structure right here, automatically I see the next zone that's here. So the next zone is 32,838. So I do expect US 30 to go down to 32,838 today. It would have been better if we had our markups, but I don't have any markups today. So it would have been better if we had this, right? Because normally we have like this supply and demand zones. We have the bullish and bearish markups. But yeah, I wouldn't trust this, because these are older. These are from last week. Now, what's the other thing I see automatically on US 30? I do see a reversal on US 30. So where's my reversal thingy? So let's try and do this. US 30 reversal. So this is the 5 minute. This would be oh, also, Livy, I just remembered you had a question regarding this. I'll go over that. So here the reversal would be for a buy. So my point of interest here is, what is this? Horizontal. My point of interest is this candle, area of interest. So for US 30, and yesterday was a perfect, was it yesterday was a perfect reversal on US 30 area of interest. I need a move so for US 30, I need a 150 pip move. So a 150 pip move from there would be 200. So I need 33 to, oh, that was quick. Yeah, these candles for today are moving pretty heavy. Yeah, this US 30 is moving pretty heavily today. So 150 pip move on US 30. So we've already had that. So any buys that come up here would be sufficient for a reversal to the upside. The other thing, right? What do I remember? I remember prices rejecting from an hourly static trend line. So this, if it does come up on the live session, I will take that. But again, this I don't want to see, because we have like about 2 candles taking up 50, actually not 50%, because 150 pip move was taken up just by this one candle, accounted for about 80% of the 150 pip move. So yeah, let me show you guys what I liked. Was it, yeah, this one for yesterday. So this one by for US 30. See, yeah. So if you subscribed and you have access to this reversal indicator, draw those points of confluence and then change the source. So for some assets you'll need to use fast MA, and some assets you'll need to use close. So just change based on, do some back testing and see which gives you a nice entry. So this one right here, I can see this trend right here, but I remember we did have a trend the other, yeah, this day right here, 550 pip trend, and 550. Well, actually, maybe for US 30, I think for US 30, my move is not 150, maybe it's 500. Is that what I said during when giving this? If that's what I said when giving this demo, because I did this demo in the live session. I need to backtest. I'll do some backtesting and see, because 150 pip move might not be sufficient for a reversal for US30. Because even for today, the sell or the buy we just caught was 150 pips. Yeah, so I think for US30, the trend should be at least 500 pips of a 500 pip move, if that's what I said during this time. But I'll go ahead and backtest and then get you guys a better, more conclusive figure. So here I think I use close, and maybe that's why the other one I was using fast MA. Yeah, and there was the buy signal. Yeah, so for US, I'll go back and confirm. But yeah, so for this one, we had an area of interest which was above here, and we had a smooth and consistent stay below the 9 EMA. And then right here, we just waited for that move up. So area of interest, we had a 550 pip trend in price. So I would say maybe a 500 pip in 500 pip trend in price for US30, 50 pip trend in price for FX pairs. Yeah, that makes more sense actually. And then you just wait, you turn on, if you're looking for buys only, turn off every sell or turn off sell signals, wait for the buy and enter. So for like US30 here, I'm pretty sure this was 100, yeah, 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. And that's what I was saying. I go for double what I would go for on a normal day. Yeah, but I'll do some, yeah, because this 150 pip. So what we need here is a 500 pip move. So 33,350 minus 500 is 32, what, 850. So we need a trend that's this far. So we need price to come down here. Price to come down here, stay below the 9 EMA and come around here. Now, if it reaches here, and right, I just said that the next point of structure is 33,823. Let me go back. Was I using this? Yeah, 33,838, right? So if we look at this, it's 33,862. So price will be around 838 where we have that structure, right? Because this 500 pip move comes to around 33,850. So this would actually be perfect, so long as we just need price to stay below the 9 EMA on the 5-minute, and then we'll have a nice reversal to the upside. So for here, I'll just leave the buy signal on, and then I'll just wait for price. Yeah, but I do see a trend on US30 coming. For Livy, so the question you had on the reversal indicator right here, using 60. So I haven't seen, honestly, I haven't seen a difference. So let's see right here. Let's use 30 pips. This is the buy that we were looking for. Okay. If we use 60, I don't think they'll disappear. Yeah. So the threshold is about 30. So there's no need for you to do 60. So do 30 or 40 right here for the indicator. The breakout pips, 30 or 40, you should be good. Because I really didn't see any change if you go higher, even though here we went for 100. This wouldn't, well, it did take off that one by, yeah, but the sweet spot is between 30 to 40 for FX pairs and 50 pips for US30. So hopefully that answered that question. Also, let me add something. I
Same
forgot to,
50 for gold too. Or
and 50 for gold to I'll check on gold. Let me see. Let's go gold here. I think it's 50 for gold as well. Let's see if we can find a trend on gold. So automatically, this was here. No, it wouldn't be here. This was during news, so that doesn't count. Okay. Oh, let me remember. So for gold, I remember this. So for gold, a trend has to be at least, no, okay. So that's what I was confusing US30 and gold. So for gold, the trend has to be 150, at least 150 pips. So that's actually what I was confusing for. So for example, here, I have an area of interest. because I can see a possible reversal on gold too. So area of interest for me is around here before the trend started. So around this candle. So 2033, I'll call that 2035 for ease of math. So 2035 is around there. So 150 pip move on gold, that's $15. Yeah, so that's what, yeah, so scratch that. US 30 is at least 500 pip move our trend, and on gold is 150 pip move. So 150 pips. So this is 2035 plus 15, which is 2050. So 2050 is right here. 2050, perfect. Oh, about there. I'll just leave it there. So here for gold, 150 pip move. So you're not interested, and here we are looking for sales only. So I'll go ahead and turn off the buys. So I'm not interested in price in any sell that would have come up before price got here. But right now, price has already met my 150 pip move threshold. So if I get a sell right now, it's a sell that I would take based on the reversal strategy. Yeah. So this is the analysis for gold. I do see a reversal happening. This sell, again, it's not a sell. It's, it would have been a nice sell, but it wouldn't have been valid because you had two huge candles and there was also a gap in the market. I think this was during FOMC. So unless you're just jumping in on FOMO or whatnot. So why aren't these sales valid? So let's take a look here. The last time price was below the 9 EMA around here, 2020, 2029. So this is a 90 pip move. So this sell is not valid. This sell is not valid. This sell is not valid. And you can see here we have a lot of consolidation. I think we squeeze. So if we do squeeze, some of these cells should be taken off. I think there was one that was taken off. Let's try super trend. Okay, super trend is on. Yeah, I don't like super trend because super trend, you stay for a while without even seeing a buy or sell signal. So that's one reason I don't like super trend. ADX, let's see. So ADX took some of the signals out of here. But anyway, yeah. So with these indicators, just use our confluences and then you won't have to turn on any of these filters. So don't FOMO into any buy or sell just because you've seen it. Look for a trend, draw your area of interest, draw your arrow like this so that if price comes anywhere or if you get a signal anywhere within that zone, do not take that signal. Price has to go away or past your threshold before you start looking for any signals that you want to use. Yes, for gold here, I think 50. Let's see, 50 for gold and 50 for, yeah. So do 50 for gold and 50 for US 30, and then do like 30 or 40 for FX pairs. Because ideally those are the only two, that's the only place you'll be changing the settings. So you can just backtest, look for trends, and then the best thing is that the best way to backtest this is look for a trend and then play with the settings around there, because you'll automatically, based on our strategies, see the entries. Because remember, this indicator is based off of our strategies. Yeah, so does anybody else have any questions regarding this indicator? There's one thing I want to show you guys, if you guys have any, in case you guys have any other questions, but there's something I want to show you guys. But if anybody has any question, feel free to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask. If not, let me just take a screenshot of this. I'll show you guys. I forgot to include something let me stop sharing.
Bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I got a question for NFP tomorrow. You know, when you said the pattern, you said there's a pattern for FOMC and NFP. So the pattern is you wait for the first 5 minute candle, and then you wait for a reversal, like a slide sell, like a sell. You wait for a sell, and then you wait for retracement, right?
Yes.
But let's just say uh so on the first 5 minute candle, you wouldn't enter there, right? Because you could be bearish.
I'll go over that once, and we'll analyze what happened during FOMC yesterday. But I see your question. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
go
all
over
right.
that. Yeah. Let me share this real quick. So this is another so every week I'm always developing, new things because I'm trying to go hands-free trading. So I'm trying to not do manual a lot because I already have all this system. So this right here is a system that I have that scans anything that I want to scan. It can even scan any stocks. So what this one does, and anybody, so I need to think about who will have access to this. So, but definitely the people with subscription who subscribe to indicators will have access to this. So I'll be sending a screenshot of this every day. So people who have access to indicators will have access to this. Who else? Um, of course, people who have who've subscribed anyway, but at the very least, people who've subscribed to indicators will have access to this. So this system is a good one to show you a what is it called, a reversal. So what you'll be looking out for here, for example, let's try and see. We are looking for something that, so you can either catch a breakout of an asset or a reversal. So for a good reversal, we want to, I don't think we have any good reversals for today, but let's assume you see this. I think this is the US dollar versus the Turkish currency, if I'm not wrong. So I'm just using this as an example. So what would be on the lookout for is something that says breakout, and also ideally anything that says breakout. So for example, if we go to USD and we'll go on this, pretty much it would be to the downside, right? So that's when we would then apply the indicator. So just as an example, let's, I forget, it's called Turkish something, I forget the name of it. But let's stop share and then let's try and go on the charts to see. But ideally, we are looking for assets that have a breakout, and then come to this. So let's see, USD, yeah, Turkish lira. So my scanner has told me there's a breakout of this asset. Now, since it's not like it moves weird because it's not like a major pair. So there's a breakout to the upside. So what I would be interested in here is a sell on it. So let's just assume this one was EU. So, and you can see it said there's a breakout, and it said there's a possibility for a sell. So this is what you'd be looking for. So you'd come here and then wait for a sell signal on this asset. So if we do get it on a major pair or whatever pair in the course of, actually NZD-CHF just got something. Let's go to, but with this access to this, you'll be able to catch like one good reversal a day. So right here, NZD-CHF, we have a breakout to the upside. So you can see it's been trending up. So right here, what we would be looking for NZD-CHF, we would want to see a point of interest. So right now, I don't see really any, but ideally just tells you, hey, for NZD-CHF, we have a breakout to the upside. So keep an eye out on NZD-CHF, on a sell for NZD-CHF, because right now it's telling us that NZD-CHF is going up and it's breaking to the upside. So what I would do here, to be honest, put a, I know it's a buy, but I'm not interested in a buy for now. So I'm interested in area of interest, which would be down here. Let me do this. Area of interest is down here. So before that candle. So to me, area of interest. And then I would draw an arrow up here and say that I'm not interested in any sell signal that comes up for the next 50 pips. So 50 pips from here is about 980. You can see, if I'm not wrong, right? I know sometimes I'm terrible with math. 973. 973 right here. So it just tells me right now NZD-CHF is breaking to the upside. Now you can choose to to also trade directionally with whatever, with the scanner that I have. But right now I'm not interested in any buys. Since there's a breakout coming from NZDCHF, I'm interested. This is my area of interest, and then this is the 50 pip move. So for the at the very least, price has to stay below the 9 EMA for 50 pips, and then I'm not for me to enter any sell here, I need price to go past this point first, and then I would look for a sell on NZDCHF. So I'll leave this for now, and then we can remind me tomorrow to look at NZDCHF if I forget. And then we'll just see what happens here, and then see if it does meet any of our requirements. Now, hopefully yeah, I'm sharing my screen. So that was that. Yeah, so you guys, so the people who will have access to, at the very least, people who have access to indicators will get a screenshot of that every day, and then you can look for, you can easily catch 3 pairs a day for reversals or breakouts if you want. Who else should I give access to that? I think I'll give access to everybody who subscribes. How about that? So any subscription you get, you will get access to that screenshot of that scanner, and it will just show you what pairs to be on the lookout for. Yeah, I'll just do everybody. I really don't want to start being or choosing who gets access to what. Okay, the question for FOMC. FOMC, if we go back to yesterday, US 30, see. So during yesterday's FOMC, so keep in mind there's two FOMCs you want to be on the lookout for. So there's one that has the meeting minutes, or I'm sorry, one that has the conference, and the other one just has the minutes. So yesterday was what? We're in May. You can see my calendar is still on vacation as well. So we go next here. So yesterday we did have the 2 p.m. move and 2:30 p.m. move. So when I'm trading this FOMC, I really don't trade the 2 p.m. move. The real move comes at 2:30, because 2:30 is when normally it's Jerome Powell, the chair of the Fed, who normally speaks. So he normally speaks about the statement that has just been released and the funds rate. So this is what a lot of traders wait for, or a lot of smart traders. You can definitely make money at 2 p.m., but you're more likely to get faked out. Now, the 2:30 p.m. move is what I would be looking for. So let's see what happened yesterday at 2:30 p.m. for US 30. If I can even see where that was. I don't think it was this far. Give me 1 second. Today, right now, is 11:07. So that was what, like 24 hours ago? 15. Let's see. Okay, 15. It was around this time. Yeah, here it goes. Just 1 second. Let me see something. So it was around 18, yeah. So 18:30 yesterday at this time. Okay, so 18 was the 2 p.m. move. So around here you had the 2 p.m. move. I'm looking for the 2:30 p.m. 18:30. So 18:30 here. Turn off this indicator for now. All right, so 18:30. So what do I look for FOMC moves? So FOMC and NFP, I look for the first 5-minute candle after news. So yesterday I wasn't interested in the 2 p.m. candle because I know, based on experience or previous experience when I got burnt, you need to wait for the first 5-minute candle. So the 2:30 is when Fed Chair Powell started speaking. So I would have been interested in the first 5-minute candle. So you can see the first 5-minute candle was a bearish candle. And even the 2 p.m. candle, the 2 p.m. candle was indecisive. You can see it was around like a spinning, right? Like around a spinning top or whatever it's called. So it was also indecisive. And that's why you don't, especially during an FOMC release where there's a 2:30 p.m. conference, or there's a conference 30 minutes later, you don't really want to trade that, because you can see here price shot all the way back up, went all the way back down, and closed ideally indecisive. So that's why you want to wait, especially during FOMC, for when there's a conference. So 2:30, we had the conference right here. The first 5-minute closed with a bearish. So this was the 8:30. trying to think how this candles close. Was it this or was it the no? So this would have been 8:30. So 2:30. So I would have been waiting for the 2:35 candle. Okay, 2:35 candle opened right here, closed as a bullish candle. Now, based on how I trade FOMC and NFP, you wait for the first 5-minute news candle. So this candle closes a bullish candle. So here I would be looking for buys. But normally when you have a strong bullish candle or a strong bearish, so in this case, it was a strong bullish candle. Normally you expect a reversal to the downside and continuation to the upside. So here I would have caught a move to the downside. I would have caught a move to the downside, and then at the close of this candle, caught a move to the upside. Now you can see here, let me just show you what I would have done. So I would have, so the first 5-minute candle, this 235 candle closes as a bullish candle. So that tells me that price was gonna go up. But I normally expect a reversal in the next 5-minute candle. So here, instead of doing a buy, I would have done a sell here. Right here, I would have gone for what? 100 pips because it's FOMC. I don't go for normal 50 pips. 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. And you can see I would have made money on this sell right here. Now, and I've drawn this pattern before. So this pattern, so if it's 5 minutes, wait for the first 5 minutes. You normally expect a reversal. Actually, let me do it this way. It's probably easier. Let me use this tool right here. So first 5-minute candle after news, do that, right? So that's one way. The other way is if the candle is bearish, do that, do that, do that. Now, in this case, the first 5-minute candle after 2:30 was bullish. So price went up, and normally when Powell speaks, price normally goes up. More times than not. So bullish, I would wait for it. It closed. So instead of, I know price is supposed to go up. Ideally, historically, price would have kept going up more times than not. But I would have entered a sell first, 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. And if I was trading news, I would have gone for a higher risk. And then at the end of this candle, so I would have made my profit there. At the close of this candle, I would have now gotten into a buy because this pattern formed right there. So here I would have got into a buy at the close of this candle. Would have hit TP, waited for this candle to close and entered a buy there. 100 pips TP, so same thing, 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss. For this trade, I would have gotten stopped out. Yeah, for this trade, I would have gotten stopped out. Price would have gone back up, but yeah. So yesterday, if I was trading news, it looks like I would have been out at break even. But that's what you're looking for. Now, if you can apply some of our other confluences, whether it's access, whether it's supply and demand zones, whether it's order blocks to some of these zones, well and good. Now here, if I would have gotten stopped out, right, ended the day at break even, guess what I would have just done? And that's why I love news days. Would have just turned on my reversal indicator, right? And I think we saw that. So let's put that at US 30, go to the same time yesterday, right? Would have gotten stopped out at break even right there that I just showed you guys. And then the real move would have started, right? I would have expected price to go up, but you know, more times than not, 90% of the times, that pattern that I drew right there would have normally, if you just go ahead and backtest FOMC and NFP moves, you'll see this pattern normally applies more times than not. But yesterday would have gotten one win, one loss, so ideally ended the day at break even. Now, instead of, a lot of people, they try to keep FOMOing, right? Because they try to keep catching the buy. So for me, I would have said, hey, I have the reversal indicator, so I'm interested in buys only. I draw my area of interest. And this is for US 30, 50 pips, fast MA for US 30. Drawn my area of interest is up here. Horizontal area of interest, I need this area of interest is around there, 33,763. I need a 500 pip move So I come and draw, take my arrow right here. 500 minus this is, I'm sorry, yeah, a 500 pip move actually. I need price to go to 263, and I know we are above the time that I normally do the live session for, but it's fine. So I need price to go to around 263. Let's see, do that. 263 before looking for any buys. So 263 is down here. No, come on. So around there. So if I got any buys during this whole move to the downside, I wouldn't have taken any buys. So guess what? Price went down about 500 or 600 pips and then came back up. Check my box. Wait for my buy indicator right here. Guess what? At this point, I would have even gone heavier than I went during FOMC. Gone here, but right, normally go for 100 pips TP, 100 pips stop loss, because I'm going for double that. Done that. So this reversal indicator will save you a lot from FOMO, like trust me. And there you go. No drawdown trade, trades exactly like how I would trade, easy. In this trade, I would have probably gone for like a 1.25% risk. I make 1.25%. So instead of FOMO, because you can see here, they're just trapping buyers, right? Because they see this big candle and say, oh, guess what? Price has to go back up. You get stopped out. You enter into a buy, stopped out, stopped out, stopped out, stopped out. But then if you have access to some of these tools I'm giving you guys, you just wait, you say, it's fine. If people want to keep buying, that's fine. Let me just wait for my confluences to align. You enter here, 1.25, even though you want to go for a 5. And these are the trades I was talking about. You can easily pass your challenge with 5 or 4 of these trades a month. That's all you need. And that's it. You're done for the day. Yeah, so that's how I do FOMC. Hopefully I answered your question. If there's anything I missed on your FOMC question or your news trading question, go ahead and clarify. But that's how I would have done it if I was trading yesterday. Okay. Guessing that makes sense. So let's finish off with, I don't know if I have energy to go over these 6 questions. Let's do the because the last week we were remaining with 6 questions, and today, since we're already over time, let's do the last 6 questions tomorrow. Go ahead. Oh, I thought somebody had a question. Does anybody else have any questions? Yeah, since we are over time, we'll do the last 6 questions tomorrow. So the last 6 questions are what, 3 and then 3. Yeah, we'll do question or questionnaires or questions 25 to 30 tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions that I've gone over? Okay, perfect. So we are waiting for reversal for US 30. So you can see here, we're not interested in this buy, right? This is not a buy we are interested in, because price has not achieved a 500 or at least a 500 pip move. So we are only interested in a buy that comes up when price meets this threshold. And more times than not, the other thing I've noticed is here I can tell its price is going up because it's rejecting from that hourly trend line that we have right here, right? So you also want to see price consistently staying below the 9 EMA. So this right here, I just consider it a fake out. I do expect this hourly trend line to be broken and price to come to around 838. So right now, right, if you bought here, you would have been in drawdown, and ideally you would be buying based off of nothing. It doesn't meet any confluence. It doesn't meet the reversal strategy. Okay. Any last questions, comments? I see somebody has something in the chat. Where trend starts is point of interest. Yes. So yeah, where the trend starts is the point of interest. So remember, you don't know where the trend has to where the trend starts, and that's why you need to have an instrument that you trade. Because for me, I normally trade mostly EU, US 30, and gold. So since I'm trading these assets every day, I can be able to see this reversal strategies easily. Now, if you have access to the thing the screenshot I just shared, where it gives you a breakdown of, it has, I think 30 instruments, right? US 30 gold and US 30 gold and EU are part of that, but it has like 28 other instruments. Bitcoin, all the major pairs, about 20 minor pairs. So if you have access to that, if you don't have a reversal entry for any of the instruments we trade, you can be like the way I marked up NZDCHF. So we'll see how NZDCHF does tomorrow. But I do expect, this scanner has told me that there's a breakout on NAS to the upside. So we'll see how this goes. But you can easily catch reversals if you have access to that. But anyway, that's it for today. We had an amazing trade for US 30. We are up 0.5% for the month, 0.5% for the week. So we'll keep going. So with all this, so remember, the only thing I record here is live trades. So if I was also using signals and I was using um what is it, signals and some of the indicators, I can easily catch 1% a day, like no brainer. The other thing that I have coming down the pipe is I'm having an EA and I posted it in the Discord. I'm having an EA that's being developed, and you can see, for example, this account right here. This is an account that I'm doing, was somebody else's account that started off in drawdown, because it's that one time that it was copying the signals 24/5, and we had a lot of consolidations and all of that. But the account went into drawdown. This is a 50K, yeah, 50K account challenge. So price went into drawdown about whatever this percentage is. But then at this point, I turned on my EA. So the EA is still not available. It's still being developed. So keep in mind, I've spent like thousands and thousands of dollars on this EA, because I'm hiring about 6 programmers that are working together. So this EA is being developed off of all my confluences. So it's trading. It's literally like me. Like if I was an AI, this would be it. And you can see this slow and steady growth curve, right? And for this, at this point, I'm just trying to, I think I have until 19th May to get, so I'm just trying to get this account back to break even, and then I wait for a free retry, and then I'll just go over it. But this account, so this is my account. I just started this challenge so that I can test the E as it's being developed. And you can see it's the same growth equity curve. You don't have any major drawdown. You don't have any major dips, right? And what does this also line up with? If I was to draw, and I think I'll do a graphical analysis of this, we have a slow and steady curve right here if you were to graphically visualize this returns on the live. So it just goes to show this, the same results that I'm showing here on the live session are the same results that are showing on the EA that I'm having developed. Now, for this EA, and I did tell you guys, the only issue with this EA is that it takes, the reason that for now, I'm not going to give people access to it or even sell it to individual people is that it does take similar trades. So for example, if you have 2 people that are trading US 30, it will take trades at the same time for those 2 people. And one thing, even though prop firms, you can use, what are they called, magic numbers, prop firms also check the number of trades, the times the trades were taken. So if I do give people access to this, we'll end up, a lot of people will get denied payouts. So how I'll do this EA will be accessible to myself and the admins, more than likely, and then we will do challenge passing for people. And once it's ready, you guys can give, if you have demo accounts that you want me to attach the EA to, you can give me demo account credentials before we start if you want to see like how it goes. Right now, keep in mind right here, I haven't even done this EA on US 30. The equity curve would be even better, but I'm just testing it out. I think on this account, I'm testing it out. I'm using EU and GJ. On this account, I'm using EU and AU. But with US 30, so this is just right, slow and steady growth. And this would be perfect for people who are either in drawdown and trying to recover, or people who are funded and just want slow and steady growth. Now, for passing challenges, I'll probably run it on Bitcoin, on US 30. So keep in mind, I did say that my next goal was to find a tool that's profitable in Bitcoin. So this EA, it's something. So that's going to be a next level thing. So that will be coming out, maybe more to come on that in the next month or so. So this month I'm focusing on promoting this group. Again, if you have friends out there who are interested in learning how to trade, and if you like what you see here, feel free to share that with people so that we can reach more people. But I will be putting in a lot of money, making ads for people out there. Also with this EA, yeah. So I need to do maybe some legal stuff so that we can get situated, especially, because passing challenges, I really don't want to mess people's monies up. So I really want to make sure that both you and I are protected. So probably document some legal documentation for people who want that. But once this EA is completely done, if you guys are interested, and not challenges. So for example, demo accounts, you can have demo accounts on so that you can track how the EA is doing. So maybe FTMO, you guys can give me credentials to those and we can attach the EA to it, and then you can see how it's going to do for like 2 weeks. And then at that point, if you like what you see and want to do a challenge with us, you can just reach out to me and we'll go over that. And really, the challenge passing, I don't anticipate it to be expensive. This year definitely has cost me a lot of money, but I'm trying to give back as much as I can. So I'll probably be charging either a flat rate, so I haven't decided yet. So probably a flat rate of $500, or maybe I'll charge the say however much you paid to get that challenge. So if it's 100K challenge, for example, on MFF, it's like $450, I think. So I'll charge you just the 450 and so on and so forth, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's the last thing that I wanted to talk about. If nobody else has any questions, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Does anybody else have any questions or concerns or anything they want to ask? Okay, perfect. I will see you guys tomorrow for another amazing trading day. See you guys. Bye.